Origins of Rictor, a mutant with the power to create seismic vibrations. Rictor was a member of the New Mutants, later revamped as X-Force. After M-Day, he joined X-Factor Investigations. More recently, he joined the newly reformed Excalibur team. Rictor Julio Esteban Rictor grew up the son of a Mexican arms dealer. As a young boy, Rictor witnessed his father's murder at the hands of a mysterious white-haired man. His murder would continue to plague him for many years after his father's death. When Rictor's ability to produce seismic waves manifested, he unwittingly destroyed several blocks in his local area. He was later kidnapped by the criminal organization known as the Right, headed by Cameron Hodge, who wanted to use his earthquake-generating powers to cause massive devastation by destroying San Francisco. Rictor was rescued by the group X-Factor, then posing as mutant hunters, and was given safe haven on their sentient command center, appropriately called Ship. There, Rictor met fellow X-Factor wards Tabitha Boom Boom Smith, Takashi WizKid Matsuya, Rusty Collins, Sally Skids Blevins, and the Morlock Leech. The six of them struck up an early friendship, and together they were trained to use their powers under the original X-Factor lineup. Rictor spent a lot of time with the team, despite the horrors they faced. Rictor found himself captured by the Right once again. Desperate to escape, he nearly committed to suicide so he would no longer be the group's pawn, but Boom Boom convinced him to not give up. After escaping the Right again, he went back with the others to their seemingly chaotic days until X-Factor decided to enroll them in boarding school. After a brief time spent at the boarding school, the group, now calling themselves the X-Terminators after X-Factor's initial mutant hunting guise, continued their adventures, including a mission where they rescued Artie Maddox and Leech from the demon Enisturh. Tired of feeling ostracized at the boarding school, where the other students were all children of the rich and powerful, the older members of the X-Terminators joined the New Mutants. While a member of the team, Julio found an unlikely romantic bond with Wolfsbane, a lycanthropic shapeshifter. After the leadership of the New Mutants changed hands, Rictor found himself being taught by Cable, a man who reminded Julio of the man who murdered his father all those years ago. During one of Cable's vigorous training sessions, Rictor bailed on the team and fled into the Morlock tunnels. There he encountered Sabretooth, who nearly gutted Rictor before he caused the tunnels to collapse on the villain. However, Rictor found himself trapped in the rubble and had to be saved by Cable. Cable began to earn Rictor's respect, but hostility between the two continued. Shortly thereafter, the New Mutants were attacked by Genoshan magistrates. During the attack, Rictor was kidnapped along with Wolfsbane, Boom Boom, Warlock, and the X-Man Storm. Rictor and Boom Boom managed to escape their captors and met up with X-Man Jubilee, an apparent rescuer who had nearly gotten captured as well. After the combined effort of nearly every currently operating X-team, the X-Men managed to overthrow the Genoshan government and set Wolfsbane and the other captured mutants free. Wolfsbane, however, chose to remain on Genosha with Havoc, who she'd been recently bonded to. Heartbroken, Rictor left the New Mutants. X-Force. A while later, after Cable had created his new team from the remains of the New Mutants, Rictor was convinced Cable was indeed the man who murdered his father. He joined the Canadian group known as Alpha Flight on a mission to kill Cable. The team was unsuccessful. Rictor begrudgingly joined X-Force shortly before Cable was accused of yet another crime, the attempted assassination of Professor X. The X-Men and X-Factor combined forces to apprehend him and his team, and Rictor was reunited with Wolfsbane for the first time since leaving her on Genosha. The two shared a kiss, but Ronnie's feral nature got the better of her, and she bit him in the heat of it. Later, it was revealed that Cable had a clone named Streif who was responsible for Xavier's attack, and Cable's name was cleared. Rictor realized that it was also Streif who killed his father, but before he and Cable could reconcile, Cable was seemingly killed. Rictor remained with X-Force and Cable returned alive and well. His friendship with Tabitha dwindled, but he began to get close to Shatterstar instead. Rictor and Cable worked alongside each other with little problems until X-Force was integrated into the Xavier Mansion. Julio's inability to deal with Cable's new telepathic command style, along with the deaths of two more of his family members, an uncle and a cousin, prompted Rictor to leave X-Force and return to Mexico. Return to Cable and X-Corporation. He did return, however, at the behest of Cable when his close friend Shatterstar was questioning his identity. He helped him through his crisis, and the pair later traveled back to Mexico as Shatterstar decided to return the favor by helping Rictor with his family problems. Rictor stayed under the radar for a long time, only showing up again as a member of X-Corporation. His initial mission was a complete disaster, however, and it resulted in the deaths of dozens of civilians and fellow teammate Darkstar. He quit X-Corporation soon after. Cyclops left the details of Multiple Man's mission during Messiah Complex intentionally vague. When a duplicate was sent into the future, they would be irretrievable and detonated when they gathered the information required. However, with these facts withheld, X-Factor's young member Layla Miller took it upon herself to join one of the duplicates into the future. Lost in Bishop's timeline, it appeared as though she was lost forever. After a short time had passed since her disappearance, Rictor believed he saw Layla on the street. Startled, he ran after his thought-long-gone friend. The look-alike turned out to be a prostitute hooker named Caitlin, and the encounter gets him beat up by her entourage. Rictor is saved by Strong Guy, who takes him to the hospital. When he returns to X-Factor HQ, he finds a letter from Ronnie saying she's left the team. He burns the letter and then flushes it down the toilet. He then tells the team he's leaving, but when he goes outside, he's in space. He goes back in, and when he looks back outside, it's plain old Mutant Town. He walks down to the pavement sidewalk of Mutant Town and falls down a trapdoor. We then see him strapped to a table, about to be castrated by a gigantic swinging blade, while two voices talk over him. The two men who have trapped him are Silver Age X-Men villain Arcade and the member of the Purifiers who recruited Rictor into their group. The X-Purifier has wanted to enact revenge on Rictor for fooling him, causing him to be outed from the group himself. Rictor calls for Monet and with her superhuman hearing she finds him. Unfortunately, Arcade is well prepared for her arrival and blasts her with an intense bolt of electricity, thrusting her to the ground unconscious. Siren and Madrox finally find him before it is too late, and the trio escape only to learn that a bomb has been implanted in Mutant Town and a force field over the city has prevented anyone from getting out. The team finds Taylor, the X-Purifier, dying in Arcade's control room. He reveals that when his heart stops beating, the town will explode. With one last sip of his poison, Taylor falls to the ground dead. Seeking to undo the effects of M-Day, the Scarlet Witch and several of the Avengers request a meeting with X-Factor, who have been in contact with many Depot-word mutants who volunteered to be subjected to the unpredictable nature of the Scarlet Witch's recently returned abilities. Although his teammates in X-Factor have deep misgivings about this proposition, Rictor readily accepts Wanda's offer to return his abilities, stating how worthless he felt without his powers. Wanda is successfully able to restore his powers, much to his delight. Powers and abilities. Seismic energy manipulation. Rictor is a mutant who possessed the ability to generate and release tremendously powerful seismic vibrations. He was capable of channeling these both through direct contact with the object or through the air. His abilities were powerful enough to bring down cities, and he expressed concern that, if placed too close to a fault line, he would set off major earthquakes. However, his powers are not limited to Earth materials. Rictor also revealed that he has an empathetic connection to the Earth, that he is able to feel life all around him and sense local energy patterns. His powers further grew in magnitude after his repowerment by the Scarlet Witch, resulting in them growing out of his control. This issue came into conflict in joining the mutant nation of Krakow, as he feared his powers would destroy the island. Although with the help and inspiration of Apocalypse, Rictor was able to gain control over his powers and their destructive nature, as well as extending his powers to not just vibrations and seismic activity, but also earthly materials. Geokinesis. After his time on Krakow, his powers started to evolve, resulting in them manifesting more as geokinesis. This new aspect of his mutant abilities enable him to mentally manipulate earthly materials, including rocks, plants, and lava to a certain extent. Due to his time with the X-Men, Rictor possesses adequate hand-to-hand combat skills. He has also displayed an affinity for computers and has been assigned to hack into various high-security systems. He picked up various other skills thanks to his childhood with his gun-running parents, including knowledge of explosives. Lately, Rictor has taken an interest in firearms knowledge and has an enthusiasm for learning how to use them.